Genesis chapter 2, verses 20 through 24. The man gave names to all the livestock and to the birds of the sky and to every animal of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helper suitable for him. So the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and he slept. Then he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh at that place. And the Lord God fashioned into a woman the rib which he had taken from the man, and brought her to the man. The man said, "At last this is the bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. For this reason a man shall leave his father and his mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And the man and his wife were both naked, but they were not ashamed." God knew what Adam needed, a helper suitable for him. There was no such helper among the animals, so God made the first woman and presented her to the man as his wife, companion, and helper. She was God's special love gift to Adam. This is another first, the first marriage. The woman was by no means a lesser creature. The same God who made Adam also made Eve and created her in his image as well. Both Adam and Eve exercised dominion over creation. Adam was made from the dust, but Eve was made from Adam's side, bone of his bone and flesh of his flesh. The plain fact is that Adam needed Eve. Not a single animal God had created could do for Adam what Eve could do. She was a helper suitable for him. When God paraded the animals before Adam for him to name them, they doubtless came before him in pairs, each with its mate, and perhaps Adam wondered, "Why don't I have a mate?" Though Eve was made to be a suitable helper, which means a face-to-face helper, for Adam, she wasn't made to be a slave. The noted Bible commentator Matthew Henry wrote, "She was not made out of his head to rule over him, nor out of his feet to be trampled upon by him, but out of his side to be equal with him, under his arm to be protected, and near his heart to be beloved." The Apostle Paul wrote that woman is the glory of man in 1 Corinthians chapter 11. For man is the head, then woman is the crown that honors the head. God's pattern for marriage wasn't devised by Adam, as the traditional marriage ceremony states it. Marriage was born in the loving heart of God for the blessing and benefit of mankind. No matter what the courts may decree or society may permit, when it comes to marriage, God had the first word, and he will have the last word. Perhaps the Lord looks down on many unbiblical marriages today and says, from the beginning, it was not this way. His original plan was that one man and one woman would be one flesh for one lifetime. Notice, God wanted suitable companionship for Adam, so he gave him a wife. He gave Adam a person, not an animal. He gave him someone who was his equal and therefore could understand him and help him. When Adam saw his bride, he burst into joyful praise in verse 23, as though he were saying, "At last I have a suitable companion." Her identity as woman would remind everybody that she was taken out of man, and the term man would always be part of woman. She was made from him and for him, and he needed her. Therefore, they will always belong to each other and lovingly serve each other. So that is the zoomed-in description of how God created mankind. Notice in chapter 1, everything was God said. But then when it came to mankind, it says, "Then the Lord God formed the man of the dust of the ground." This is personal. God spoke everything, all the stars, galaxies, planets, plants, bugs, animals, birds, everything, into creation by the power of his words. But with man, God got down and got his hands in the dirt. He put his creative hands in the dirt and formed Adam exactly how he wanted Adam to be. This shows Adam as unique from all creation. He gave Adam a task to name all the animals, which also shows Adam unique in that God designed work to bless Adam and to show Adam's status as vice-regent of all creation. Made in God's image means we have a mind like God's. It does not mean we have the power, wisdom, and understanding of God, but we are like God. All other living beings created God gave instincts to dictate their behavior. Think about it. Your dog can feel emotions. They know when they need to eat or sleep, but can they talk? Can they imagine things? Their God-created instincts guide their every decision. As domesticated pets, they desire the affection from their owners, but not because they desire relationship, but because the affection brings them security and safety, two things which they know by instinct they need. They look to their owner, mankind, to care for them and to meet their needs. Humans can think, we can feel, we can express creativity in art and music and design. We have intelligence, we have logic, to name a few things we have as image bearers of our Creator. We also have free will to choose. We can choose who we love. We can choose what we believe. We can choose if we will be in relationship with God or not. God didn't give us free will because, as people often say, He didn't want robots that have no choice but to love Him. We have choice or free will because God has it. Like all of God's creation, He created mankind with wondrous variety. How boring it would be if all of us looked and acted the same and had all the same interests.